And now, Mike's Thoughts. MANHOUR, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, where you listening to us. It is Tuesday, March 30th, 2023. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic Memorial Day. Remember those loved ones. Reached out to somebody that needed help. But we started every show off with the rant. And today is going to be no different. Josh McDaniels says Davante Adams has, quote, earned the right to vent. He has earned the right to go to the media and express his displeasure for the Raiders offense. He has earned the right to earn his displeasure of everything that the Las Vegas Raiders are doing wrong. As you guys know, Davante Adams is a 10-year vet now, going in at his second or third year for the Las Vegas Raiders, and this is Josh McDaniels' second year as well. Earn the right, Josh McDaniels says. Well, let me tell you something, MANHOUR Nation. People listening to us on YouTube, Facebook, and of course Spotify and iHeartRadio, even though they snubbed us on the awards, but we'll get into that. Nobody earns a right to dish their head coach. Nobody earns a right to throw their organization under the bus. Nobody earns the right to speak the way Davante Adams has been speaking about the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't care if you're Tom Brady. I don't care if you're Patrick Mahomes. I don't care if you're Davante Adams. I don't care if you are the great Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Ray Lewis. The list goes on and on and on and on. No player is greater than the team. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. No player is greater than the team. So Josh McDaniels to say that Davante Adams has, quote, earned the right to voice his frustration with the Raiders' offseason moves and lack of production and offense and all this other crap. That is just a 100% saving face at the end of the day. We're like, you know what? We need Davante Adams, so he can do whatever he wants, right? Josh McDaniels, that is the quickest and the fastest way to lose your organization. There's a reason why, guys, Josh McDaniels is probably one of the worst coaches in the NFL. He's a great offensive coordinator. Don't take away that from him. But when you look at his head coaching track record, trash. Davante Adams, shut your mouth, get to work, and make your team better. It's not all about me at the end of the day. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? MANHOUR Nation, rise up.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to MANHOUR After Dark. Say that then. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who's coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that. Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, still listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. MANHOUR After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches, won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live, all 3 speakers go.
And what is up, MANHOUR Nation? Michael Buckhatcher here with the MANHOUR. Should head to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page. Look at the blog section as well. If you guys, this is a live interactive show every Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. East Coast time, right here at youtube.com and, of course, facebook.com/MANHOUR Sports, guys. Be sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon. You get all the clips. You get all the live footage. And if you are a subscriber, if you are a member, you get hour number 3, which is just me just hanging out with you guys, BSing on the way to work, having a good time. You get the after hour show, which is, wrap things up, maybe a topic here or two, maybe a special guest. You never know. Got to be a member, got to be a subscriber to find out. It is what it is, but you got to do all that. head over to youtube.com/manhour. You can become a member over there, or right here on Facebook, just simply click the subscribe button, and you guys get access to all that. All those profits from that, proceeds from that will go to the studio upgrade that is happening right now as we speak. There's construction going on right there. I'm building a wall right there. New cameras, new green screen. Things are happening. And once we, meet that budget, everything else from that will go to the Kalahar Project, which is a suicide prevention project here. Take away 2022 merch as well. All the proceeds go to the Kalahar Project for that as well. With it being Memorial Day weekend, obviously it's past, but, it is definitely a very time to look out for those people, especially those military people that have suffered losses such as, very near and dear to our heart here. We do got a good show for you guys live today. It is Tuesday. We're going to jump into some way or no way. We're going to talk about DeAndre Hopkins being released from the Arizona Cardinals. Juan Thornhill and Za'Darius Smith is promising a Super Bowl ring to Cleveland. What? Chris Godwin says he's 100% and ready to come back. Le'Veon Bell regrets his petty breakup with the Steelers. And George Pickens says he's going to be a Pro Bowler in year number 2. We got my man Arthur Brown jumping in there. He says, let's go Heat. Guys, the Miami Heat finally won a game. They won one out of the last 4. Congratulations to making it to the NBA Finals. Guys, I thought the Heat were going to give it away. No. I was like, man, they're up 3-0. They're going home, man. It is a wrap, baby. It's a wrap, right? But shit. They made it interesting. Celtics and Heat, great series if you guys are NBA fans at all. I'm a playoff NBA like NBA fan. Regular season NBA fan, get that crap out of here. I don't like it. I think it's stupid. I think they play way too many games in the regular season, much like Major League Baseball plays way too many games in the regular season. But I'm a playoff NBA fan. Is that a fair weather fan? Sure. But Arthur, I was rooting for your Heat as well. My man Tyler Hero plays for them. Then you got Bam. Jimmy Butler, man, that team is really, really good. I'm really glad they pulled it out against the Celtics. As anything Boston, anything green, poop on that. But guys, I am glad you guys are back here for the Tuesday edition of Man Hour. We were off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We were off 5 days, a nice little vacation for me and the fam. But it wasn't really vacation. We went down to Nashville and we were at the iHeart Podcast Awards, and the Man Hour was nominated for quite a few awards out there for the best NFL podcast, best comedy podcast. I guess people think I'm funny, and there were some other things that we were nominated for, but we didn't have any right being in that division. Let's just be honest about it. But unfortunately, we did not take home any awards this season. Last year, we did take home the new the best upcoming NFL show. So that was good for last year, but obviously I guess we plateaued a little bit, or maybe gone down a little bit. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That's why I'm tinkering with some things on the guys. I'm really excited about the new studio upgrades that we're doing. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. If you are a member, I'll give you a little sneak peek. Probably starting next week. Like everything should start to look a lot better. And right now the garage is just a mess. I got like studs showing. It is what it is. Mama Buck's in the chat as well. What's up, Mama? She says, I love you, son. I love you too, Mama. I love you too. Send me a text. Always watching the show. But guys, let's get into some new news, some NFL roundup from the last weekend or so. Tony Jefferson is retiring from the NFL after 10 seasons. And will join the Ravens as a scout intern this summer. Tony Jefferson was the safety for the Baltimore Ravens for the last 5 or 6 seasons. He was really underrated, I think. Like in the end, Browns wide receiver Isaiah Weston has been placed on injury reserve / retirement list. Hello, DeAndre Hopkins. Welcome home, right? Well, we will talk about that. Dallas Cowboys running back Tony Pollard has bend able to participate in reduced tempo OTA schedule per Mike McCarty this weekend. As you guys remember, Tony Pollard did suffer a fibula fracture in January's playoff loss versus the San Francisco 49ers. Denver Broncos running back Javavion Williams ACL was working on a limited capacity during OTAs and was seen cutting and running routes during individual drills. Good thing for him. Also for the Denver Broncos, wide receiver Jerry Jeudy collided with cornerback Jaquan McMillan during team period, and they were both limping off the field and sitting out for the rest of the practice. Jerry Jeudy has been placed with a thigh bruise, Coach Sean Payton said Wednesday. Palmer also added that Payton did not seem too concerned about the injury. So hopefully the Denver Broncos fans, your guy is A-OK. The Detroit Lions trade kicker Riley Patterson has been acquired via trade from the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 2026 conditional seventh round pick. And the Detroit Lions also cut wide receiver Keontae Thompson. More trades. Jacksonville Jaguars, we are talking about that. Las Vegas quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo underwent a cleanup procedure on his foot after signing with the Raiders in March. It's just now coming out. It's coming out because Jimmy G had to sign a waiver saying that he was good to go and wouldn't sue the team for his failed physical. Think about that. New York Patriots linebacker Raekwon McMillan was placed on injury reserve. New York Jets signed wide receiver Jerome Cap. That's kind of dumb. They also have their defensive back, Eckles, has been suspended for the first game of the 2023 regular season due to the NFL personal conduct thing. Pittsburgh Steelers signed wide receiver Corey Crest, and Titans signed Tajee Spears, the 2023 third-round pick, to his rookie deal. That is good news for the Tennessee Titans because Derrick Henry might be a little over the hill. Might be over the hill. Is he? I don't know. We'll talk about that later in the week as well. But, guys, it is time to get into some way or no way. Flip the old page here. What? Okay. My bad. I'm just a little rusty. You know, you're off for like 5 days and you're like, damn, what's going on? All right, guys. So let's get into some way or no way. If you guys are new here, way or no way is very, very simple. We've been sprinkling a little bit of questions out there on the old interwebs the last couple days, and basically it's like saying this is a statement, and we want to go, is this the truth statement, or is this is factually incorrect statement? So simply way or no way. So guys, we are going to start the show off with DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins has officially been released by the Arizona Cardinals over Memorial Day weekend. I think it was actually Friday when he got released. After, teams were interested in trading for him and doing a little bit of this and doing a little bit of that, he was officially been released. So the question that we're going to ask is, way or no way, does DeAndre Hopkins instantly make any team he joins a playoff caliber team? And if that team is a caliber playoff team, are they a Super Bowl contending team? So there have been rumors. Oh, there's glitter down there. There's been rumors that they're like the 3 or 4 front runners to get DeAndre Hopkins are the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, and now the Detroit Lions are kind of coming out of left field as well. However, if you follow Instagram at all, on Instagram Live, I believe it was DeAndre Hopkins checked into NRG Stadium, which is the home of the Houston Texans. Way or no way does he make any team a playoff team that he joins? So let's talk about the teams that are not playoff teams that have been rumored to be a DeAndre Hopkins suitor, right? Let's throw out the Houston Texans, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Detroit Lions. If he joins any one of those 3 teams, are they playoff caliber teams? Houston Texans, guys, they're going to shock some people this season. They are legit going to be a lot better than pretty much every, quote, expert out there thinks they're going to be. CJ Stroud is going to be a really good quarterback this season. Whether he sits first game or not, he is going to be a really good quarterback this season. He's going to lead the Texans to at least 7 to 8 wins. Next, that defense, pretty good. They got the 3rd overall pick with their forget his name, Williams as his first is his last name, right? That defense is quietly getting really, really, really good. New head coach, second, third overall pick. Does DeAndre Hopkins make the Houston Texans a playoff caliber team? Yes. Yes, they do. Why? Because they're already a playoff caliber team now. The Houston Texans have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. I think they're ranked 30th or 29th in the easiest schedule. You add a prolific receiver like DeAndre Hopkins to that roster with a rookie quarterback, with a nice young nucleus that they have with a solid running game, a good defense. AFC South, look the F out. Seriously, look out. If DeAndre Hopkins comes back home and signs with y'all, shit is about to go down. And I see people like, oh, he can't be healthy. No way, no way, no way. Okay, cool. In DeAndre Hopkins' NFL career, he has just had 4 seasons. That's right, count it. 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons under 1,000 yards receiving. His highest was 15,072. He is the best receiver in the NFL. Now, but say, oh, Buck, he gets the ball all the time. He's getting 100, 150 catches every season. Shut up. False. He has 4 seasons. That's right. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over 90 catches in a season. He is averaging only 70 to 75 catches a season with like 11 plus 100 yards in those seasons. Those 4 seasons that he didn't break 1,000 yards, he had some of his most catches. It is what it is. Does he go to Houston? Probably not. I think he wants a little bit easier job. Baltimore Ravens. First of all, I don't think he goes to the Baltimore Ravens at all. I think that is just a complete asinine statement to even think he would want to go to the Baltimore Ravens, but would he make them a playoff caliber team? No way. Not because the Ravens aren't good. It's because of Lamar Jackson. You already have Odell Beckham Jr. and some other receivers that nobody wants to really mention because they don't really care. But yeah, let's just scoot on by that. He's not going to Baltimore. Would he make them a playoff caliber team? No. Sorry, it is what it is. Then the Detroit Lions. Guys, the Detroit Lions are going to take some steps back this season. Yes, they have a really good defense. Yes, they had a really good season. They had a good second half of the season last season. But they also had a pretty easy schedule. They also had a very hungry team. I think that team's a little bit fed now. But he obviously does make the Lions better. Jared Goff is a really good quarterback. He is a little bit of this. He is a little bit. I would say if you went to the Detroit Lions, they would probably be a playoff caliber team. Simply because I think the Lions are a playoff caliber team. Anyways, now they will take some steps back. They won't be a 13-plus win team that everybody's thinking that there are. Schedule. Look at the freaking schedule, guys. He's gotten a lot harder. A lot harder. But then we venture out those teams like the Kansas City Chiefs. Way or no way does he make the Kansas City Chiefs a Super Bowl caliber team? The answer to that question is no way. The Chiefs are already a Super Bowl caliber team. Now, would it be a hell of a lot easier? Yes. It would 100% be like Madden on rookie mode easy, right? That is how easy it would be. I like DeAndre Hopkins to the Kansas City Chiefs. I like it a lot. Well, a lot, they say. Buffalo Bills. No way. The Buffalo Bills are probably going to miss the playoffs this season. The Buffalo Bills are a team that's been treading water for the last 2 seasons, and finally the water found the hole in the boat, and the boat is sinking. The Buffalo Bills are going to be MIA in the playoffs, so they out. They out of town, baby. So, in a roundabout waffle way, does DeAndre Hopkins make a team instantly a playoff team or Super Bowl caliber team? It depends. It depends on what team he goes to. Obviously, he is a top receiver in the NFL. Obviously, he is going to make the team better. But if he goes to the Ravens, are the Ravens a playoff 10-pound team? No. If he goes to the New York Jets, is he a playoff-bound team? Probably. That'd be a hell of a what, right? If he goes to the New England Patriots, are they a playoff-bound team? No. If he goes to the Chiefs, are they a playoff-bound team? Yes. So it all depends on where he lands, right? So waffling around saying it depends, but in a roundabout way, it's going to be no way. A receiver doesn't make a team that much better, right? I don't know. It is what it is. But then the rumors are flying around. A coming home party. A reunitement of Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins. If you guys remember, they played back in Houston back in the heyday. J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, Deshaun Watson. Hell, I think they made the playoffs that season and lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, and then the wheels fell off the bus. But there's been rumors out there. My Arthur Brown said it the best. Says, what about the Cleveland Browns? Does a marriage between DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson happen again? Are the boys back in town? That would be very, very intriguing. It would be very intriguing because the Cleveland Browns already have a fairly good receiver core. They, as a core in general, they are probably a top 7-ish receiver core in the whole league. Because if you look at look who they have now, right? They have Amari Cooper. Starting to be back a little bit better. They just traded for Elijah Moore this off season, right? They still have Donovan Peoples-Jones. And then you would add a DeAndre Hopkins to that. Who would be the odd man out? It'd probably be Elijah Moore, too, we'll be honest. But let's not forget, they signed Marquise Goodwin as well. They still have Nick Chubb. Guys, if DeAndre Hopkins goes to the Cleveland Browns on paper are the best team in the AFC. On paper, they are the Super Bowl favorites. On paper, they would probably go 17-0. But the games are not played on paper. The games are played between the white lines. And I feel that the Cleveland Browns can put out the 1985 Chicago Bears on their field, and somehow they would still miss the playoffs. Now, DeAndre Hopkins obviously makes them a playoff-bound team. I would put them as division winners if DeAndre Hopkins goes to that team. But Super Bowl, no. No Super Bowl for the Cleveland Browns and DeAndre Hopkins if that happens. They'll be a really good team to watch. They'll be a 13-win team. 14-win team. They'll be really, really, really good. But you still have the Kansas City Chiefs. But you still have the Miami Dolphins. But you still have what other AFC teams get in there? Chargers, Bills, Texans. But yeah, I mean, Arthur, I do like where your head is at. I do like DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson. See what they can really do, right? But if DeAndre Hopkins entering his 10th, I think it's his 7th year in the NFL, right? Do you want to really go to Cleveland? If you had a choice, do you really want to go to Cleveland? If you had a choice to go to any team in the NFL, would Cleveland Browns be your number one choice? I'm going to answer that for you. The question is no. If I'm DeAndre Hopkins, I want to go to the Buffalo Bills. I want to go to the Kansas City Chiefs. I want to go to the San Francisco 49ers. I want to go to the Detroit Lions. Who wants to go to Cleveland? Let's just be honest. Who wants to go to Cleveland? very, very few people want to go to Cleveland, but Juan Thornhill and Jadarius Smith wanted to go to Cleveland, and that's exactly where they ended up. And during OTAs, they said, and I quote, "We are bringing a Super Bowl to Cleveland." So way or no way are the Cleveland Browns going to be a Super Bowl caliber team this season. Let's go back to what I just said. The Cleveland Browns, on paper right now, look to be a really, really good team. Deshaun Watson, full 17-game season. Nick Chubb. However, I'm worried about the running game because Kareem Hunt is no longer there. They do have a Jerome Ford. I don't know much about him, but what made Cleveland so great was the 1-2 punch. Pop, 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 right? Kareem Hunt, you guys, Cleveland Browns, you guys better get him back on the roster ASAP to relieve Nick Chubb. Then we look at the receiving core, like Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Donovan Peoples-Jones, really, really good receiver core. Like I said, probably a top 7 core in the whole league. But then we look at that defense. This defense is where the money is made. Juan Thornhill, I'm pretty pissed off that the Kansas City Chiefs let him go, but it is like it is what it is, right? They picked up Jadarius Smith this offseason from the Vikings, which is a previous Green Bay Packers linebacker. They still have Myles Garrett, Delvin Tomlin, Jordan Elliott. Guys, on paper, the Cleveland Browns are a really, really good team. The addition of Juan Thornhill and Jadarius Smith, bringing that outside winning culture to Cleveland, that is huge. Because I am a firm believer is you have to learn how to win games, right? Kansas City Chiefs obviously won a lot of games when Juan Thornhill was there. Jadarius Smith has won a lot of games with the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. They know how to win. Winning is in their blood. They are not going to be okay with this. You guys, 8-8 is good, right? It doesn't work that way anymore. But to say you are going to bring a ring to Cleveland, that is the most Cleveland thing to say. That is the most Cleveland thing to say. You finished 4th in the AFC North last season. You missed the playoffs. Deshaun Watson played, 6 games last season? Kind of looked meh, right? The guy that looked better for you is no longer on the roster. I believe he's in Washington right now. Commanders, Redskins, Red Tails, whatever name you want to call them now. But we'll get into that later. Juan Thornhill, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. There is a reason why you are no longer in Kansas City because you can't keep your damn mouth shut. Kansas City Chiefs had Marcus Peterson back in the day when he was a primetime boy. You know why the Chiefs let him go? He couldn't keep his damn mouth shut and he threw a flag in the stands in the playoff game. So just calm down. Just let's get the training camp and really see what the Cleveland Browns are all about before we start promising Super Bowls. Let's get into, the grind of the season before we start worrying about Super Bowls. We don't want to label like Lamar Jackson now saying, I'm bringing a Super Bowl in the first 5 years. Calm down. AFC is loaded. Hell, the AFC North is loaded. Pittsburgh Steelers, you got the Ravens, you got the Bengals. Let's worry about finishing 10-7 before we start worrying about a Super Bowl, my man. Simmer down now. Simmer down now. That division that they're in, they could win the division. So Arthur Brown is saying that the Cleveland Browns could win the AFC North. Arthur Brown, my man, you are a very, very smart man. You are a Miami Dolphins fan. You are rooting for the Heat. You're probably a Tampa Bay Rays fan too, or I guess a Marlins fan. They're down in Miami as well. But when we look at the AFC North right now, as currently constructed, no DeAndre Hopkins, no season-ending injuries, right? Looking at the North right now, the North, in theory, is probably going to be the best division in football. Of course, we said that about the AFC West last season, and we saw how the Denver Broncos kind of shit the bed on that one, and the Raiders, right? Now, I don't see any team really shitting the bed this season in the AFC North. I think the floor for every team in the North is 7 wins. If a team gets below 7 wins in the AFC North this season, that is because they had a horrific injury. Their star receiver goes down. Their quarterback goes down. A star defensive player goes down, and it takes them a couple weeks to like adjust and get their traction back on. That's the only that is the only way I see a team in the North not being a 7-8 win team, like the bare minimum. I think every team in the North is going to have 10 plus wins this season. I'm doing a schedule breakdown of the North Thursday, if my days are right. But the Cleveland Browns, they're still probably the worst team in that division. The Cleveland Browns are still a 4th place AFC North team. Not because they're a bad team. It is because they're not as good as the Bengals. They are not as good as the Ravens. They are not as good as the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, they're better than everybody in the AFC South. They're better than everybody in the AFC East. They're better than three quarters of the team in the AFC West. But that doesn't win you a division, right? You can be the best team in every other division in football, but if you cannot beat the Bengals, the Ravens, or the Steelers, you're still going to be a last place team. And I don't think they have what it takes to win 5 division games this season. I think that is what it is going to take to win the division, is a 5 division win season. And then we see this comment with D-Hop. With D-Hop, they can win the division. With D-Hop, they can do this. Well, D-Hop isn't there yet. He probably won't be there, but time will tell. You know, like we have a whole month or two before OTAs start back up again. But even with DeAndre Hopkins, let's say DeAndre Hopkins is on the Cleveland Browns right now, and they don't cut anybody from the receiver corps. They still have Elijah Moore. They still have Amari Cooper. They have Donovan Peoples-Jones. They have D-Hop. They have Marquis Goodwin. 5 really good receivers, right? With Deshaun Watson was really good in Houston. The problem is we don't know how good Deshaun Watson is anymore. That is the biggest issue, is how good is Deshaun Watson still? Now, when he was in Houston, he was a top 10, top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Well, he was off for a year and a half, 2 years, and last year, he did not look very good. Let's just be honest. He did not look good in the regular season, those 6-7 games that he played. Now, is that a foreshadowing to see what we're going to see this year? For Cleveland Browns fans, we hope not. For 360 million reasons why we hope not. Right? As a NFL fan, I hope not. I would love to see him be at the top of his game again, and like Amari Cooper start catching everything, and like Elijah Moore finally show what he can actually do. The Jets messed up. I let him go, but whatever. But even with D-Hop, they're not a top team in the AFC North. They are not. They might be 3rd place. They might be a little bit better than the Ravens, better than the Steelers, better than the Bengals. No, even with D-Hop. So slow your roll there. And then Arthur Brown, the Miami-an, like, how do you say that? Miami-an person from Miami says better than Miami and Buffalo. I doubt that. He doubts that the Browns are better than Miami and Buffalo. I was just saying that hypothetically, Arthur. I'm just saying, like, you can be better than every team in the East, every team in the South, and every team in the West. But if you cannot beat the Bengals, you are not going to win the division. Like, it was kind of a hypothetically speaking there. But if you look at the Cleveland Browns right now, they are better than Buffalo. Let me repeat that for you. Right now, the Cleveland Browns are better than the Buffalo Bills on paper. I think they have a better receiver core. I think they have a better quarterback if Deshaun Watson is a glimpse of what he used to be in Houston. The defense is better. The running backs are better. The coaching might be better. Cleveland is better than the Buffalo Bills right now. It is what it is. That is the damn right truth. He only played half of a season after being out for 2 seasons. You are correct. You are correct, Arthur. Deshaun Watson sat out for what was like 600 and some odd days, right? He came back week 12, week 13. Refresh my memory. But with all that being said, he still looked like dog shit. Still did not look very good. What was his stats from last year? Last season, he was 99 for 170, 58% completion percentage, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns to 5 interceptions with a QBR ranking of 79.1. 79.1. Clearly the worst QBR of his entire season. Or sorry, his entire career. But the only reason why it is that high is because he had a great first game back, right? He threw for like 300 yards or something like that. Let's look at the last six games. When he played the Cincinnati Bengals in a loss 23-10, he was 26 for 42, 276 yards with a QBR of 60. Not terrible, right? The Bengals are a pretty good team. Then you're at home versus the Ravens, 13-3 win, 18 for 28, 168 for QBR of 40.2. Christmas Eve, they're back at home versus the Saints with a loss, 17-10. He went 15 for 31, 135 yards with a QBR ranking of 22.8. Then they traveled to Washington, the capital of the United States of America. Washington Commanders. They won that game 24-10. He was 9 for 18 with a QBR of 33.7, threw for 169 yards. Now, this was a Washington team that was fighting for the playoff lights. It was a huge win, right? I don't remember the conditions of that game by whatsoever, but 9 for 18, a QBR of 33.7, not very good. How about this? The last game of the season didn't matter anything for anybody. They lost 28-14. He was 19 for 29, 230 yards for the QBR of 40.4. Now, you can say, oh, he sat for 2 years. The rust was built up, yada, yada, yada. Those are the last 5 games of the NFL season. He played 3 to 4 games previous from that. Comment says, Buck, being out for 2 years is a long time for a QB. Being out for 2 years period is long for anybody. But, Arthur Brown, it is like riding a bike. The first game is going to be rough. You are going to make some misguided speed reads because obviously the game's a little bit faster than from preseason into practice, and you can scrimmage all you want, but the game speed is just a little bit faster, right? But after game 2, game 3, that rush should have been wore off a little bit. It should have been like riding a bike. It should have just been like, oh, this is easy. It was easy because the Browns weren't playing for anything. They were out of the playoff hunt. They were playing pretty much teams that were either locked into the playoffs, already, or they were just games that didn't mean anything. Almost like being a rookie taking your first snap. You are correct. Deshaun Watson first game back would have been like a rookie taking his first snap. I will give you that.
One sheet of Bounty versus
I will
one
give
sheet
you
of
that.
the ordinary brand.
What I won't give you is game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5, game 6, or game 7. Once you pass that first game, hell, even the second game, the rust is starting to wear off. And it's not like he didn't play games previously. He played in the preseason. He played, 3 of the 4 preseason games fully. Plus he was practicing and all that other stuff. But of course, excuses, right? But we will see what Deshaun Watson is this season. I'm I'm pretty intrigued to see what he is going to do this season. Is he going to have a good season? I'm curious about it. Moving on. Chris Godwin says he feels explosive after coming back from ACL injury last season. As you guys know, Chris Godwin is the number 2 receiver, possibly number 1, depending who you talk to, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So way or no way, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need Chris Godwin to be 100% to make the playoffs this season. Guys, Chris Godwin is a really underrated receiver. Now, did Tom Brady make Chris Godwin Chris Godwin? Maybe. He has had his 3 of his last 4 seasons have been over 1,000 yards receiving. Obviously with Tom Brady, right? Now, way or no way do the Bucs need him to be 100% to make the playoffs? This is a way. This is 150,000% way. Chris Godwin is the most underrated receiver in the NFL. On any other team, Chris Godwin would probably be a number 1 receiver. But he's behind Mike Evans, which is a top 5 receiver in the league, right? Chris Godwin is that guy. He is a perfect number 2. He's a perfect unsung hero. He catches the ball most of the time. But yes, guys, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans needs Chris Godwin. Now, he doesn't have to have 1,000-yard season. He can have his 600, 700-yard season with 60-some catches, right? All he need is that safety valve for Baker Mayfield. Mike Evans is going to be the guy on the team. No doubt about it. But if Chris Godwin isn't 100%, hello, double team to Mike Evans. Hello, Baker Mayfield struggling to find an open receiver because Chris Godwin, are you going to be there or are you are you not? Scotty Miller is no longer there, right? Gronk is no longer there. They do have some other receivers, obviously. Russell Gage, not terrible, not good either. Cade Otton, the receiver, a tight end. I don't like him at all. So Chris Godwin is going to be that safety valve, that tight end, the oh shit, where are you guy? I know where you're at type of guy for Baker Mayfield. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers need him to be 100%. It's simple as that. If he is 100%, Chase Edmonds is 100%, Keyshawn Vaughn is 100%, Baker Mayfield is 100%, Buccaneers are a very dangerous team. Dangerous. Even though people in the comments, Arthur Brown, says no real quarterback to throw him the ball. Here we go. He says Chris Godwin doesn't have a quarterback to throw him a ball. Sorry, no real quarterback. Why do people hate Baker Mayfield so much? Why do you people hate Baker Mayfield so much? All he does is strap on his shoulder pads, put on his headband, looking mighty sexy, and he plays with heart. This guy is I would love him to be on my team. I would love him to lead my team as a quarterback. Last season, 201 attempts, 335 for 60% completion rate, 2,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, 8 interceptions with the QBR 79%. Oh, that's not very good. Well, he played for the Carolina Panthers team that was basically trying to tank to lose, or they were trying to tank to get the first overall pick to replace him. He said, hold my beer, we're going to win these games. And when he started winning games, they cut him. Then he went to the LA Rams where they were playing the grocery bag boys because everybody on that roster was injured. And he won them a couple games. He beat the Raiders. He beat the Broncos. Division, really, really good teams. Let's not forget that he led the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs for the first time in 20 plus years, right? Well, since the 80s or whatever it was. Sure, that might 30 plus years. Damn, I'm getting old. With a torn labrum. Arthur, people in the chat, in general, have you ever had a torn labrum? I tore this labrum. I played with it, but I couldn't lift the motherfucker up to here. He was throwing the ball down the field. He was a quarterback thrown with a torn labrum. Like, I'm no pansy, but I couldn't get my shoulder up past like 80 degrees. Is that about 80 degrees? Hell, like now it's fully healed. Like 10 years later, I can only get up to like right here. Like, Baker Mayfield's a dog. He is a dog. If you take a picture of his chest, he is going to have that pit bull in him, baby. He is. Tampa Bay Buccaneers is exactly the quarterback that they needed. Baker Mayfield is the quarterback the Tampa Bay Buccaneers needed. Hell, and if you want a real quarterback, they got Kyle Trask too. Kyle Trask is probably one of the most underrated quarterbacks from that class. 3 years ago, right? He was a second-round pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, shoot, when was that? Was that 2020 or 2021? I think he will be the best quarterback out of that class. It is 2021. Thank you. Out of that 2021 class, he will be the best quarterback. So simmer down now. There's no real quarterback to throw to. Come on, man. Come on, man. There's no heart. There's no lovable losers. There's no Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell has come out in a podcast and said he, quote, regrets the way he regrets the pettiness he. Let me restart that. The words are getting all tangled in my mouth hole. Le'Veon Bell regrets the petty way he left the Steelers a couple years ago. Le'Veon Bell says he regrets the petty way he left the Pittsburgh Steelers. Way or no way does Le'Veon Bell truly regret the way he left the Pittsburgh Steelers? As you guys know, Le'Veon Bell decided to basically say, Pittsburgh, pay me or I'm not going to play. Well, Pittsburgh Steelers did not pay him, and the New York Football Jets ended up paying him a pretty hefty bag to come to New York and run the ball like 6 times and never play again. Then he went to the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, I think he won a Super Bowl with them. Didn't really do a whole lot, but he got a Super Bowl ring. So way or no way is Le'Veon Bell really, does he really regret the way he left Pittsburgh? The only reason why he, quote, regrets it is because he was never a top running back in the league or on the team after he left Pittsburgh. The only reason why he regrets it is because nobody remembers his name. If he would have stayed in Steelers, he could have been one of the greatest running backs of all time. But for whatever reason, when he took that year and a half off and went to New York, age caught up to him really, really, really fast in NFL life, and he was just never the guy. Whether it was injuries, whether it was just age, whether it was just the system. The only reason why he regrets it is because his name got lost in the shuffle. The only reason why he regrets it is because he was never the guy. If he would have went to the Jets and been the guy for 3, 4, 5 years, this would have never come out. He would have never regretted the way he left Pittsburgh. He would have never regretted it. It is like when you leave your partner, you leave your wife or girlfriend or husband or whatever, for this person across the street. Oh, they make really good fried chicken. They clean the house. They do this. They do this. But things don't ever really work out right. You regret leaving your other half because things didn't work out. Now, if things were to work out, like, who is this girl, right? We only regret things if things don't work out. And unfortunately, Le'Veon Bell, things did not work out. If they would have, we probably would have forgot he was ever a Pittsburgh Steeler. Kind of like how we forget that Brett Favre was ever a Atlanta Falcon, right? Kind of like we forget that Peyton Manning was at Indianapolis Colts for a really long time, was really, really good. Do we really forget? I don't know. A lot of people only associate Peyton Manning with the Denver Broncos now, which is weird to me, right? We forget that Curtis Martin was a New England Patriot. Like, it just... Does he regret it? No, he doesn't. He just trying to get his name back in the news. He was a dog in Pittsburgh, and after leaving, his career went to crap. He pissed me off in Pittsburgh. Not because he wasn't great or like anything. The way he ran the ball, I was like, how is this guy like sitting in the backfield, just standing there looking for a hole, looking, and like nobody's getting to him? I'm like, it irritated the piss out of me. I'm like, as a defensive coordinator, I'm like, he's standing right there, go get his ass. And then all of a sudden he's up the field for like 80 yards. Like, what? He was really, really good. Pittsburgh and Big Ben were perfect for him. Yes, exactly was. Didn't Le'Veon Bell go to like Eastern Michigan or something like that? No, that was that was Antonio Brown. I can't remember where Le'Veon Bell went, but yeah. Pittsburgh are built for players like Antonio Brown, like Le'Veon Bell. Like, they keep them in check, you know? And when you go to a different team, I guess you get a chance to like spread your wings, and all of a sudden you become like this terrible guy, this terrible player. What are we overlooking like how great of an organization, how great coaching staff, just like how great culture Pittsburgh is for some of these players? Because let's look at players like Antonio Brown. Yes, you can say maybe he has CET now, right? But once he left Pittsburgh, he was never a dog again. He was never that guy. Chase Claypool, pretty good in Pittsburgh. What do for you in Chicago? I mean, obviously the jury's still out a little bit on that, but doesn't really do well. Le'Veon Bell, a dog in Pittsburgh. Probably the best running back in the NFL during his tenure in Pittsburgh. Goes to the Jets. Shit. Goes to the Chiefs. Hell, he was a practice squad player over half of the season. I think he was activated there in the Super Bowl, and that's about it. Just, there are certain organizations that are certain fit for certain players. And I think if a player has an ego, I think if a player has like kind of the me mentality, you go to Pittsburgh and they'll straighten you out real quick. We've heard about the Patriot way and like all that crap. Guys, let's start talking about the Steeler way. Let's start talking about the Mike Tomlin way. This guy doesn't have a losing record as a coach. Pittsburgh Steelers might be the best organization, the best culture, the best well-coached team in the NFL in the last 20 years. Ever since the Cordell Stewart and Jerome Bettis days, this is a top-notch. Like, how can you hate the Pittsburgh Steelers? Like, legit, like, how can you hate a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers? It's just crazy to me. I don't know. It is what it is. Toxic comment of the day.
Toxic comment of the day.
Guys, we get hundreds upon hundreds, even 1,000 comments, likes, and shares on our Facebook page every day. So much to where, like, sometimes I can't keep up with it. Actually, like right now, like I was disconnected for like 5 days, and I woke to like 10,000 notifications. Like, what in the world is going on, right? But there are always some comments that kind of just like poke out at us. Kind of like, what is this person talking about? And that is exactly what we're going to talk about today. Today's toxic comment of the day is right here on the screen. We posted or we shared this from CBS Sports, and is the most division titles since the NFL merger. First of all, people are like, oh, Dallas Cowboys have 25, whatever. Yeah. Well, They may have previously from the merger previous to 1965, but I personally only like to do stuff from like 1995 and on, when the Jaguars and the Panthers joined the league. This list would look a hell of a lot different if you did it from 1995 on. But this toxic comment, well, let me know if you guys think this comment is toxic or not. This person, it was referring to this post, the most division titles winners since the merger via CBS Sports, says, so what's that mean? Steelers and Packers have the most Super Bowls than everyone on this list except for the cheating New England Patriots. And they got a long way to go before they catch Pittsburgh. So let me ask you guys this question. First of all, is this comment toxic or not? Basically, this person was jabbing at the New England Patriots because of their 2 of their 6 Super Bowls that they won since 2000. They were cheating. You got the Deflate Gate, you got the Spy Gate, you got whatever happened this OTA. I didn't even read into that. I was like, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, I'm not even going to worry about that. But let me ask you guys this question. Are you going to take away Super Bowl titles from the New England Patriots because there's controversy surrounding Deflate Gate, Spy Gate, whatever else gate you want to call? Guys, we just talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers. The New England Patriots are a staple of a great organization. You can call it the Bill Belichick way. You can call it the Tom Brady way. Whatever you want, they have been really, really good for a really, really long time. 21 division championships since the merger, since 1965. If you look at the AFC East, the next team close to them is the Miami Dolphins with 13. So that means the Patriots cannot win a division title for 7 years in a row. Miami Dolphins can win 7 in a row, and they will still be second place. So to say that New England is cheating, that's why they're so great. Let me take it one step further. Anonymous poster. I didn't put their name there up there on purpose. Last time I got chat, I couldn't use their name, whatever. Then don't post shit. Don't post stuff and stupid. If you're not cheating in the NFL, you are not trying. If you are not playing in that gray area, you are not trying. If you are not trying to over-pressurize the ball or under-pressurize the ball by .001, you are not trying. Winning a Super Bowl, winning a title is very, very hard. The Buffalo Bills with the 4 straight Super Bowls and couldn't win 1. Not 4 over 15 years, 4 in a row. They couldn't win 1. They couldn't bat 250% or 25% and just win 1. They couldn't do it. Sorry, Buffalo Bill fans, to reopen up that scab again. But if you're not cheating in the NFL, you are not trying. Let's just be honest about it. You're not trying. So for this comment, the cheating New England Patriots got a long way to go before they can catch Pittsburgh. They actually don't. Pittsburgh Steelers probably won't win a division title for 5 or 6 years. Let's just be honest about it. The Bengals are really, really good. The Browns are up and coming. The Patriots probably had a better chance of winning another division title before the Steelers. They're only 3 behind. In the comments, guys, let me know, is this toxic? Is this guy badging New England because they cheated twice in a 50-year span? Is that really a good comment? I don't know. Is that really a good comment? It is what it is, guys. But guys, that is going to be it for today. I was going to put some money where your mouth is, but I want to get that jingle set up before we get too far into that. But guys, that is going to be it for the Man Hour. See you tomorrow. Same time, same location. YouTube.com/manhour, Facebook.com/manhour, or at Spotify or iHeartRadio if you like podcast form. Bada bing, bada boom. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 2 p.m. East Coast time. We out.